my boy. Where is my boy? I live on Facebook. My boy. The fear nigga see you live. Alright. Knock out. Knock out. Knock out. Knock out. I don't want to go. I gotta tell you now. Knock out. Knock out all day. Knock out. And that's why they pull the ribs and the ribs and store the ribs. That's on them. They ask me, get in there. South South Street. Oh, yeah, where? Fine way? Fine way, pulling up the food. Fine South South Street. Post number 34. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do when you get on there. Share, share, share. You know what to do when you get on there. Share, share, share. We're gonna go inside in a minute and start our live. We're gonna introduce you to a new candidate. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna introduce you to a new candidate today. Just trying to run all these people home. You don't want to go home. They ready for the new Bahamas now. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Rasta man. I don't even know if they can see you.
It's a blackout.
It's a blackout. So
Blackout.
it's a blackout.
Blessed love. Blessed love.
Blessed love.
Yes, yes. This our
That's the
time.
Gardner's man.
This time now, boss, to make it happen. New Bahamas, coalition, independent, Garden Hills. Let's go. Let's move. Bahamas, let's move.
All right.
Coalition, coalition, coalition. My lord.
All right. Gardner's. You ready? You ready? All right.
Yes, sir. That's
All right.
coalition or nothing.
All right.
Support the children.
Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we are packing up down here, chasing everybody home. Look like they want to sleep here at the New Bahamas. But people are ready for change, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. The amount of people that showed up here was mind-blowing. People are ready for change. We just had a meet and greet so that persons who have not met their candidate could come and meet their candidates. They could come and meet their candidates. But they came out in full force. We had a lot of food. Man, the food was amazing. That food was amazing. Chef Stevie, thank you so much. South Beach in the building. Come on down and spread the word. You have to make this change on. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? All right. How you doing? You ready for change?
I'm ready for a big change. A big change. So big. Let's go.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, so 10 minutes we telling the people go home. We telling the people go home right now. So ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna get our live in a minute. The finance man, the next minister of finance for the Bahamas, there.
Hi. Hello, Bahamas. How is everybody doing? Listen, this is Don King, the representative and the next incoming member of parliament for the great constituency of Golden Isles. It's a privilege and a pleasure to have been chosen as the shadow minister of finance. I don't know if you know, but we got a lot of work ahead, a lot of heavy lifting, financial engineering. We've got to sell these resources to take this country out of debt. We've got to take these resources back on behalf of you, the Bain people. But we cannot do it until you go to the polls on Thursday and vote Coalition of Independence. We need you to do that, please, Bahamas. I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you. If you don't, the IMF report in my car is saying income tax. They're saying the $3.5 million, 3.5 million acres of land that we have will be going on the stock market. And that's how you'll be able to buy that property by real estate indices. We cannot afford that. That's our birthright. Our illustrious leader was trying to table the bill right before they closed the house to ensure that each Bahamian got an acre of land. We're fighting for our rights, for the rights of our children, for the rights of our grandchildren. We need your support. We need you to go out there and vote coalition. Let's create this blackout. Change ain't coming. Change is here.
Hello, hello. How you doing, people? So, guys, are you ready for a change? I know I'm ready for a change. Say none. I am in the constituency. I'm working hard. I have amazing plans for you guys. I hope that you guys are ready, and I am ready to serve for you.
Awesome. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you so much. So persons were able to come down here and meet with their candidates. Wow, this was overwhelming. The amount of people that came out here. We had lots and lots of food. We didn't run out. Look at the fine wood, fine wood, fine wood.
Lock out.
Knock out.
Lock out. The BMX one be done. And go president. Back to the people stand. And there's the food.
Yeah. Fine wood, fine wood. You all could vote?
Raise the vote. Raise the vote.
I ran the vote 4 years ago.
Raise the vote.
Yeah. All right, when I come back. It might be a little rusty, but oh Lord, don't move with that one.
Hi, do you think Muhammad? Hi to Michael. We're here celebrating, just having a good time, getting bottles ready for Michael in the house. I'm ready for you guys. Tune into the live. We have some interesting information for you.
Good night. Good night, Golden Gates. Hi, Golden Gates. Charmaine, I'll be here. Yes, excited about election day. Go out and vote. Looking forward to seeing you on election night, celebrating the new Bahamas. God bless. All right, let's do this, Golden Gates.
Hi, Port Charlotte. Are you ready? Are you ready for this change? I want you all to think about this. Think about this one thing for me. When the food is passed, the rum has passed, what's going to happen to you? What's going to happen to your children? There are children in Port Charlotte telling me that they have nothing to do. I rolled out my plans, some of my plans today for Port Charlotte, the recreation center we are most passionate about. Go on my Port Charlotte page and see what it is we want to do in there, especially for the children. Do not sell your vote for food, cancer causing groceries, or promises. We cannot go back with the PLC or the F&M anymore. Moving forward, change is here.
Michael.
Yes, sir. How are you?
All right, Michael. Talk to Michael.
Listen, I've been live a while ago. Let everybody know how serious this is. The election's in 2 days. Bahamians, if you want to change, the time is now. You've had 40 plus years of the PLP and F&M. No change in your life. You're still poor, broken, begging. We got a real vision for you now. We've shown you now you're going to get your $2,000 stimulus. You're going to get an acre of land. You're going to get ownership in this country for the first time. I tell everybody, look, you can keep a yellow shirt on. That's fine. Keep the red shirt on. When you go into the polls, vote for Coalition of Independence. Do the right thing to make this country better. I'm proud to be Bahamian under the Coalition of Independence.
Freetown!
Talk to Freetown.
Freetown! Oh, we are free. We will be free. Freetown! Freetown! It is I. It is I, Miss Hannah Carey. Look at me. Baby, I am with you. I will love you. I will be with you. Change is here. I want you to know one thing. They have regarded us as the ghetto. They have regarded us as nothing, as little to nothing. But we are much, and we will be proven to be much when our voices are united, when our voices stand together as one, and we are heard, that we will not settle for less. We deserve what is ours, our natural resources. Glory be to God. We are so grateful for a leader like Mr. Lincoln Bain. I can come up now and to be able to bring forth all of this information. We are grateful to the coalition of independent candidates who have said straight across the board, enough to lead this country from day one. We are grateful and we say thank you. So free down from me to you. Miss Hannah Carey, I'm rocking for you. I'm rocking for our victory. Free down, we are indeed free.
All right, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to talk to some of the candidates who are here. I'm going to have to get started with my live. We got to introduce you to the new candidates for South Andris. Ladies and gentlemen, just going in the back. So we don't have any disturbance. Give me a sec to get set up here. All right, so we are here. We're ready to go. I have to go into another studio because there's so much noise going on out there. Tell them turn it's time to go home. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're gonna have an interesting night. We got some stuff for y'all to see, but the first thing we want to do is address. That's because that's on the ground. Put that up right. Very close to the window. The first thing, put it up right over there. All right, so we're trying to get the internet together because we're having some internet issues. So we're trying to get that together. We're so sorry that you're experiencing a lag, but we're gonna get that straight in a second. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, give us 1 sec. All right, perfect. The lag is stopped, and so we're good to go with the rest of our live. All right, so you want to say something?
Yeah, I got an endorsement from the candidate, Andris. Endorsement. We'll go from Kingdom government. He has all the support in Adelaide. Right? I'm at the Attorney General of this house.
Yeah, man, you can come in here. We'll find some space here.
I want to say something on your live.
Yeah, come on. Tell them you to come. So, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Both of you come. You stand right over here.
So that's true.
No, you come. You stand right against that wall. Our shadow minister for finance. Our shadow minister for finance is here, joined us, and that's Mr. Don King, and he is Golden Isles. And of course, we wanted to introduce you to them. Mr. Don King, you just saw him a minute ago. This man has a lot of experience in finance, and we are glad to have him on our team. But he's getting an endorsement now from another candidate who has decided to drop out of the race. You can introduce him.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you Mr. Kevin Clark, formerly of the Kingdom Government Movement, a man known in the food and beverage industry as a professional. Now, presently, he's been holding executive positions from he was in diapers, and he's an expert in his field. He's been endorsed by persons like Fakir. He's been getting funding from some of the top names in this country. But tonight, he has decided to come forward and endorse me as a candidate in the Adelaide and Golden Isles constituency. He's a member of the Adelaide community. He's been there all his life. And so, Kevin, without further ado, can you speak to the Bain people and tell them why you chose to endorse me as a candidate? And I just want to say I'm grateful to have you on board. God bless you. And the coalition is going to be that much better as a result of your endorsement. Amen. You can go ahead and speak.
Yeah, good night, Bahamas. I decided to endorse Don King for Golden Isles because I believe the coalition is going in the right direction. They have the right plan for the community and the country. So I'd like to give Don King my full endorsement. He has my backing and the backing of everyone that supports me 1000%. Golden Isles is Don King all the way. So let's support Don King. Come Thursday on election day. Go to the polls, sign your X to the block. And I believe that they have the right roadmap for the country. And that's why I decided to step out and step in to the Coalition of Independence. You have my full endorsement. You have everyone that supports me endorsement. And we are with you all the way, Don.
Thanks, Kevin. And in fact, thank you even for allowing yourself to work the polls. He's even working the polls for us.
I'm even working the
I mean,
polls.
you
I'm
just got-
offering myself to Don because I believe he's the man for Golden Isles.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Bahamas, for allowing me to take a few minutes of Lincoln Live to share that information with you. God bless you and good evening.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We got to get to it, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get back to it. Thank you for allowing us that little detour right there. Gentlemen decided to come to our meet and greet and endorse the candidate, Don King, who he was initially going to be running against. And so we thank him. We thank him for his endorsement and his confidence in the Coalition of Independence. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna get right to it, so we can get right through it. Here's some documents, interesting documents to show you, and some interesting things to show you in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, that we had a void that was left in the North Andris constituency as someone stepped down who was running for us. And these things happen in elections. They happen in every election. They happen with every single organization. They happen with every party. Before last election, many persons who were going to run for the FNM stepped down. You remember that. That Leonard Sand stepped down, Howard Johnson stepped down, another candidate, Sanders for Michael, stepped down before the election, that they were ratified candidates of the Free National Movement. So this kind of stuff happens. All right. So what has to happen is you have to keep moving because we have a country to save and we got one shot at this. And the New Bahamas is 2 days away. And so we have to keep moving, and that's what we decided to keep doing. And so we had a plan B because that's what we do. Okay. And so our plan B was to talk to another ratified candidate to investigate him. We did some vetting. We spoke to persons in North, North Andris. Been doing a lot of talking. Spoke to a lot of persons in North Andris to get a feel about this person. And this person, are they online and ready to go? Are they online and ready to go? Okay, perfect. So they're backstage right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we decided to go with the candidate who is from Andris, who is a son of the soil, was born there, is very well known there. And so I want to introduce you to a candidate for North Andris who's going to be running for that constituency. And we're going to be endorsing him. We're going to be endorsing him. And so remember yesterday we told you that we had not finalized everything yet because we were still doing our vetting and investigations. But tonight we can tell you that we're going to endorse a candidate who is ready to help usher in the New Bahamas. And so I'm going to bring that candidate on. If you can bring him on to the screen. His name is Mr. Harrington Fraser. And so hopefully we can get him on. There's no internet issues around there in North Abaco. We're having some internet issues. But we have Mr. Harrington Fraser, and he is running down there. He was running for another party. All right, he's still with that party. We've decided to endorse him. He has decided to commit to the New Bahamas and to everything that we have committed to for North Andris. He's decided to commit to. And so we'll try to get him on there. Look like his internet is having some issues. Look like mine is having some issues now too. We'll see if we can get him in there in a minute. But Mr. Harrington Fraser is a son of the soil. He was born there. Uh, let's see if we can get him on. You might have to call him. Um, uh, he's a son of the soil. And he formed a group called, I think, Sons of Andris. And this group is very well known in Andres. He is like a celebrity down there. Everyone knows him. Everyone knows his name, and so you might want to keep the phone that way. Everyone knows his name. No, that way. Everyone knows his name, and so we decided to go with him. Everyone we called spoke highly of him. We checked with many different people to see what kind of person he was, if they would be willing to support him. Everyone we spoke to said yes, right? And so there's some people who asked me some questions about, because I'll be trying to get Ms. Harrington on. There's some people who asked me some questions about Wellington, etc., and the situation with him. Let me tell you this: Wellington is not my enemy. I have nothing negative to say about Wellington. He's a Bahamian brother. And the only thing I have to show him is love, because we are fighting for all Bahamians. And he's one of those Bahamians that I'm fighting for. I have nothing negative to say about him. I have nothing negative to say about what he did. We have to focus and remain focused on the new Bahamas. That is it, and that is all. That is what our focus is going to be. Our enemies are the people who have been raping and robbing this country for the last 70 years. The people who have been passing this government like a hot potato to each other, benefiting from it and passing it to their friends, they are our enemies. Wellington Roberts is not my enemy. He has not governed this country. He has not caused the situation that this country is in. Dr. Hubert Minnis and the FNM are enemies of the Bahamian people. Philip Brave Davis and the PLP are enemies of the Bahamian people. Why? You know why. What happened in Abaco with Dr. Hubert Minnis? That's how you treat your enemies, not the people you're working for, not the people that you're supposed to be looking out for. They refused some NGOs from coming in to help. They got supplies and hid them, building supplies and hid them, so that the people couldn't get them. That's not how you treat your friends. That's how you treat your enemies. Dr. Minnis is an enemy of the people of the Bahamas. Philip Brave Davis is an enemy of the people of the Bahamas. The way that Cat Island was treated, that's how you treat your enemies. The way that airport is, the way the clinics are, the way both airports are, that's how you treat your enemies, not the people you are working for that are paying you to manage their affairs. So to everyone who's asking me about Wellington Roberts, listen, we got 2 days. My focus is on the new Bahamas. I have no time for anything else. That is where my focus is. You've noticed, anyone who has ever had anything to say about me, I've never focused on. I don't focus on them. We are focused on the new Bahamas. We want every Bahamian to stay focused. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted with tricks. It's time to focus on the new Bahamas. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're focused on. We can see that Bahamians are ready. We can see it. And so, to recap for you, we're trying to get Mr. Fraser back on here because he has some internet issues. We spoke to the international community. We spoke to CARICOM today, and we made them abreast of all of the actions of Dr. Hubert Minnis. We made them abreast of the actions of Dr. Hubert Minnis. And of course, all of the international community is concerned about how these elections have gone so far. The intentional non-sealing of the boxes. The family member of the campaign general of the FNM being in charge of the polling division where some of this stuff went down. So there has been commitment from the OAS to watch, especially in Pinewood, to watch, especially in Killarney, to watch in Southern Shores where that where that incident went down. Ladies and gentlemen, we call for backup. Ready to go? All right, let's get him in. And so we're going to bring in the man known as Zippy, and he is Mr. Harrington. Make sure you take the phone where you need it. All right, we'll try to get him in again. They are terrified of the New Bahamas. And this is why we're seeing what we're seeing. All right? We're trying to get Mr. Harrington in, having some internet issues again. We're trying to get him in. Let's see if we get him in this time. Is his internet weak? All right, we're trying to get Mr. Harrington in. He's in North Andris. We're trying to get his internet up to par. We're trying to get his internet up to par, trying to work. All right, he's having some internet issues, some problems getting in. And so we'll continue with what we are doing. We'll continue with what we're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to try to get him in one more time so he can talk to the people of North Andris. But of course, the people of North Andris knows who he is. They know exactly what is going on, and that's the person that we have decided to work with. We're trying to get the internet on. We're trying to make it work with him. But of course, he's in North Andris. So, yeah, so we're trying to make that work. So try to call him one more time and see if he's having some. He's in? Okay, let's try to get him in. All right, so we're going to try to get him in one more time. Internet is giving us some issues. Try to get in. All right, one more time. We're going to try to get him in. Okay, he's trying to get in now. So try to talk. Ms. Harrington, try to talk and let's see if we can hear you. Ms. Harrington, try to talk so we can see if we can hear you. Okay, so that makes sense. So what we're going to try to do is call him in on WhatsApp and see if we can get him that way. We got some smart Bahamian people. Let me see if we can call him in. Because for some reason his internet doesn't seem to be strong enough to get going. All right, so let's go. I'm going to try, let's see if we can call him. Trying to call him from this. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try to call Mr. Harrington. See what happens. Drop that phone for me, please. Okay, when y'all bring the phone for me, please. Okay, we're going to try to get him on the phone. Let's try to get him on the computer. So sorry about this, y'all. But this is the country we're living in. It doesn't work. And this is why we have to have a new Bahamas, because this makes absolutely no sense. All right, so we're going to try to get him in on the internet and see what happens. Mr. Fraser, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm trying to get in.
No problem. We know you're trying to get in. We know you're trying to get in. But I don't know what's happening. Maybe your internet isn't strong enough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to video call you on this. Let's video call you on this, and then let's see what happens. So let's do a video call right here. So you can join me in. There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had to do it this way. I'm sorry. I know this is the 21st century, but this is the country you are living in. This is why we got to change this country. All right. So, Mr. Harrington, I'm sorry. We can hardly.
Yes.
Okay. So they can hardly see you because we have a ring light in front of us, but they'll be able to hear you. All right. So let me put it to the mic and see if they can hear you. Uh, all right. So, Mr. Harrington, we investigated you. We talked to a lot of people in Andris about you, and everyone in Andris seems to know you. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Can you hear me? Yeah, I think his internet is weak. Mr. Harrington, can you hear me? Okay, let's turn off the cameras. Turn off the cameras because your internet, I think, is weak up there in Andres. So turn off the camera. Let's go back to regular call, and they'll have to just listen to you. All right, let me hang up and call him back. Yeah, we need a new Bahamas so that we can get this internet together, y'all. You know what? Somebody just told me to call him direct. We're doing everything to get this done, y'all. Almost there, almost there. Okay, I think we can hear you now. So hopefully the Bahamian people can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully they can hear you. Oh, that's because the phone is there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Harrington Fraser, and he is the person that we are endorsing in. Say again? You can't hear me? You got to put this over there. That's because of this. Okay, we have to. Let's call him on your phone. Oh my God, Dad. Yeah, Mr. Fraser, we're going to call you because we're having a live. We're going to call you from another number. So just answer that number, please. Thank you. Okay. We are so sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get this done. He's in an island where the internet is not behaving properly right now, and so this needs to go over there. Yeah, almost there. Thank you so much, guys. All right, Mr. Fraser, let's try this one more time. Are you there? Yep, almost there. Yes, perfect. Okay, now let's do a little test and see if we can hear you. Say hello to the bombers.
Okay. Hello, very pleasant good evening. This is Reverend Harrington Fraser. It's indeed a privilege to be right here this evening with you.
Okay, so I hope they can hear you. I don't know if they can hear you. They can't hear you very well, but we're going to try to see if. Yeah, you can hear me loud and clear. So we'll see if we can get this done. So we'll see if they can hear you. All right, Bahamas.
Okay.
All right, so it's a little better. Everyone says perfect. So tell them a little bit about yourself. Why did you choose Andris? What's going on? Who are you?
Well, my name is Reverend Harrington Fraser. I was born right here in Stanley Creek. I'm a family man. I'm the leader of the Sons and Daughters of Andros. I've been in local government for 12 years. So I was deputy chief constable, chairman of the township of Stanley Creek and chaplain in the district council. Yeah, and I'm in love with my home, North Andros and the Berry Island. And I pray that God will keep me strong going into this election.
Awesome, awesome. So you're a man with a lot of experience in local government. You seem to be very respected in the community. Everyone we spoke to said that they wouldn't mind working with you because they really wanted to vote for the coalition. We spoke to many persons who said they just want to vote for the coalition and they don't want to be robbed of that opportunity. And so they wanted a candidate. They wanted us to endorse a candidate down there. And so we started investigating you and another candidate. And at the end of the day, our team decided to choose you based on the word that we got from the people on the ground. And so I want to say this. Why did you accept to work with us in this way?
Well, I know that you're a wonderful team. I heard about you. I never met with you personally, but I see you many times. I like your actions. I love the way you run the team, and I believe you'll take a good government.
Awesome.
You know, we at the edge of the cliff now, and we need a new government.
Yes.
It's time for change.
Yes, it is.
For change.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. Listen, we are ready for change in Andris. Now, I want you to be well aware that we made certain promises to the people of Andris when we were there. We made certain promises to the farmers in Bark and other farmers in Andris that we would give them their crown land, their 80 acres of crown land, okay? And that we would subsidize farming because we must feed ourselves. We made a commitment to these farmers that we were going to subsidize them starting at $500,000 for each farmer because we must feed ourselves. Do you commit to fighting for what we committed to and ensuring that our government delivers what we promise?
Yes, well, my brother, I was a farmer in that. I had 40 acres. I worked there as a farmer. I know all the farmers there. I don't know if some new ones are in, but there's no more than right. I think that's what they deserve. I will wait very hard to see that what you promised them come true. I will sit with them and I will make places that it happens. Because I was a farmer as well, and I know what they're going through. They need help in that.
Listen, we believe in everything that we have said, and we have committed to delivering on every single thing that we have said to the Bahamian people.
Yes.
And so I am asking your commitment right now to keep our government's foot to the fire for the people of Andris. Is that something that you're committing to do?
Well, I am committed to Andros. I am committed. North Andros and the Berry Island. It is my duty to do the best that I can do for Andros. And I will help to keep your promise. Your commitment will be kept very strong.
Awesome. And so we also promised that we were going to do certain things in the Morgan's Bluff area. And that is, we're going to make sure that cruise ships are able to come in there and that we're going to turn that into a tourist hub for the cruise ships. The acres of land that they were going to give to Brent Simonet and his family, we're actually going to allow Bahamians to be able to invest in that and make a resort for tourists down there so that tourists would have somewhere to go. It's already a deep water harbor. And so no dredging needs to take place. And so we think it's perfect for that. And it would bring some life to that area. Do you commit to the producing that and making sure that happens for people of Andris?
Morgan's Bluff belongs to the people. This land is your land. This land is my land. This land is our land. This land was made for you and me. And so it is no more than right that we keep Morgan's stuff for the people.
Yes. We also made some promises to Bahamians who have crown land down there. They've been occupying crown land. They can't even get electricity because they weren't given their papers, etc. And we've committed to helping these people out as soon as we get in power. This is a first priority. I'm talking about next week to make sure that these people get their appropriate crown land as Bahamians. All right. Is this something that you are committed to fighting for?
Yes, I am committed to fighting for the crown land for my people in North Andros and the Berry Island. I will do my endeavor. I will work along with them and fight till the fight is done. Never stop until it's over. Until North Andros and the Berry Island get what they deserve. That's my commitment.
Awesome. So Harrington Fraser, we have some work to do. We're glad to have you commit to fighting for Andris. We are glad to endorse you down there to give the people of Andris someone to vote for. And so everyone in Andris, everyone under the sound of my voice, we have endorsed Mr. Harrington Fraser. All right. So go out there. Remember his name. Our logo won't be to him because it's an endorsement. Remember his name. We are endorsing Mr. Harrington Fraser. Remember that name. We're going to put it up on our Facebook page, on our website, etc., so that you know exactly who he is. We're going to add his picture, etc., to our graphics if we can this quickly. But please remember Mr. Harrington Fraser. You all know him. He's a son of the soil. He's well known. He's been singing, etc., down there for a very long time. And so, Mr. Fraser, we're glad to have you on board. We count you in the winning column. We are taking the entire Andris. Your comrade down there, you have to get in contact with him, former police officer, master's degree in education, who is educating our young people right now. He's Mr. Trevor Green. And so we're looking to have two very qualified persons in Andris who are going to fight for Andris. We are going to do for Andris what other governments never did. Andris, Abaco, and Grand Bahama are the keys to the new Bahamas, to restoring our economy and taking us back to the next level. Any other words you want to say to the Bahamian people?
Well, I want to say thanks to you, my brother. Thanks very much to you. And thanks to the people in North Andros and the Berry Island. I know that you will support me. You've known me for a long time. I am no stranger here. Everybody in Andros knows me. And they know that I will do a good job. I did a good job in local government. I also did a good job in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I want Mr. Green to know down in South Andros that I used to be a police officer myself. But I said, thank you, North Andros and the Berry Island. Thank you, Mr. Bain, and may God continue to bless you all and bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Amen. Thank you so much. We're glad to have you as a part of the team, endorsing you down there, and we are looking forward to working together to bring the new Bahamas. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Thank you very much.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Harrington Fraser. As we said, we have fully endorsed him. We're working with him. We've gone through some of the plans for Andris with him, and he has committed to these plans. We didn't stipulate all of the plans just now, but he is committed to having Andris to be the catalyst to build the new Bahamas. Andris is the 5th largest island in the entire region, the 5th largest island. And in fact, it's actually an archipelago. And that is going to be used to a certain advantage. We need people with vision who understand that. Andris is a major archipelago. It's not one landmass. Many people don't know that. Zoom in on it from Google Earth and you will see. It's an archipelago. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have some major plans. We now have someone for you to vote for in North Andros. Listen, whatever the enemy intends for evil, it always works out for good. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we believe that people are ready. We believe that people are ready for a change in this country. And so, I want to talk about a couple other things. Then we'll open up for questions and answers, as we always did. Last night was beautiful. I want to talk about land tonight. I want to talk about our land. Because one of the things that we are promising the Bahamian people that we're going to deliver, and in fact, next week, you will begin to be able to, as soon as we swear in, you will begin to start lining up to apply for your 1 acre of crown land. We don't need any new legislation for this, just some policy changes. We would only need legislation if we were in opposition or if we were not in the government. But as a matter of policy, we can go in there and we can make sure that every single Bahamian adult gets 1 acre of crown land. They offer 500,000 acres, 500,000 acres to foreigners, sometimes 50,000 acres, 5,000 acres of our crown land. We don't even have 500,000 of us adults. Why can't we give every Bahamian an acre and then give them grants if they come up with something to do with it? Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that? Ladies and gentlemen, we can't do it, and we're going to do it. And so next week, you're going to be lining up, and you're going to be getting your land. All right? You're going to be lining up, and you're going to be getting your land next week. As soon as we have sworn in, this is priority number 1. You will be getting your land. So it's your choice. You can vote for Minis or vote for Brave and look out for them, or you can vote for yourself. You will be getting your 1 acre of crown land next week. We've committed to that, and that is what we're going to do. All right? And so, you see, it amazes me that people, notice they're not back talking me with this because they know it can be done, and they know that we're serious about doing this. All right? There's been questions, even by the international community, as to why foreigners can come in here and just get land. They have a different process for applying for land. They don't go through the same process that you go through. Foreigners can come in, when they apply for land, there's a different process that they go through than you. You get the red tape. They get the red carpet. And so I found some interesting documents. We're pretty good at research. All right? But I found some interesting documents that I started to bring to your attention. I wanted to go through some of these. Now, someone asked me not to show all the documents, to save some for when we are sending some people to jail. But I want you to see how different people are treated differently in this country. If you have connections, you're good. If you don't have connections in this country, sad is going to be your cry. And that's a country we don't want to live in. That's a country I don't want to live in. And so that's a change that we need to have in this country. All right? So just organizing these for you so you can see them. Just organizing them for you. Wow. Something to see. So I'm just going to do a couple vague examples because we have a lot of examples, and there's some croonies and etc. who've been given crown lands, and I decided not to show you some of that. We're going to save that for Friday and when certain investigations begin. But there's some croonies etc. who've gotten crown land. I told you about the Meguana people who didn't get their crown. They applied for crown land. But because, and this is coming directly from inside the office of the Prime Minister, there's some people in the office of the Prime Minister who do not want this Prime Minister to be Prime Minister. And so we have access to a lot of documents because of that. All right? These people applied for crown land. Minister did not get a good reception from the people of Meguana. And so guess what happened? They were denied. The application was scotched up and they were denied. This is how spiteful politicians are. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you some examples of Crown Land grants. So this is a Crown Land grant here. And these are Bahamian, so every single one of them I would have given Crown Land to. Every single one. But once they show the reason for it, I don't think Bahamian should have to pay for these Crown Lands. But in any event, this is a Crown Land that was granted to, let me put it up properly for you. This was granted to United Faith Ministries International. United Faith Ministries International. All right? This is, you can see the seal and everything. This United Faith Ministries International. They got Crown Land. And they paid for this Crown Land, hope you can see it there, $1,400. All right, $1,400. And this is actually for, pull it up. This is for, you see how much acres. I'm trying to see how much acres. Possibly Crown Land. I can't see how much acres this is. Let me see. I'm looking at it wrong. This is in acres. It is 1,432 square feet. It's no acres. 1,432 square feet. So to put that in perspective, a Pinewood property is 5,000 square feet, 50 by 100. This isn't even half of that. This is a small piece of land that they were given. This is in the Fire Trail Road area. They were given a small piece of land, and it looks like they paid, wow, they paid $1 per square foot because they got 1,432 acres, sorry, square feet, and they paid $1,432. So maybe they were not in the click somehow, and they ended up having to pay for this small piece of land, and they paid $1 per square foot. All right, so that's what happened with them. Remember, we're going to have freedom of information, so all the is going to be able to see all of these kinds of documents. There's no reason that any transaction in the Bahamas should be secret. All right, we are going to have all transactions open to all Bahamians, and so we're showing you that now. And so now this is another Bahamian who got 50 by 100 piece of property, and it's 5,000 square foot. Actually, this is Bahamian, but there's a difference. This person, let me see this person. This person paid $10,000 for their piece of Crown Land. Again, as a Bahamian, we would have given them much more than this for free. They would have gotten 1 acre. This is like the size of a piece of property in Pinewood, a regular, like the smallest that lots really come. 50 by 100, kind of, 5,000 square feet. This belongs to, I won't call her full name, but Miss Seymour. All right? Miss Seymour had to pay all this money. $10,000. Miss Seymour, we are so sorry that you had to go through this. But in the New Bahamas, Miss Seymour, in the New Bahamas, Bahamians won't have to go to this. You're going to get your 1 acre of property. This is one piece of property. An acre is about 8 pieces of property. This is one. And so this is a shame. I guess maybe she was in the click, but she got it. At least she got an answer. Got this little piece in Adelaide area. All right. I want to watch you to watch what happens when you're in the click. When you're in the click, you get this. What Saxon Superstars got. All right. They got 3 acres for $1. There you can see it. 3 acres for $1. 3 acres for $1. That's what the Saxon Superstars got. We're happy for them. We're glad. We're also going to be investing heavily in our Junkanoo groups. And so as soon as we get there, Valley Boys, Roots, One Family, others, they're going to get property too, because we're going to be investing heavily in Junkanoo. And so we feel that all of our Junkanoo groups, excuse me, should have been able to participate in this transaction. But there's other people. And sometimes, I wonder why certain people are so quiet with certain things in this country. Continue. Hang in there with me, Bahamas. This is a Dunkum. This person is a Dunkum. I won't say their first name. They got 1 point, might as well say 2 acres of land, and they paid $1. They got 1.2 acres of land. They paid $1. So why is it that the person before, Ms. Seymour, had to pay $10,000 for 50 by 100, but this person was able to get theirs for $1 in Gladstone Road area? And so these are the kinds of things that we need to change in this country. All right. So again, we would have given them that because they're Bahamian. All right. But of course, we see. This is another one, traffic management company. I'm calling these names so that you could do your own investigation and see what's going on. They got 3 acres for $1. Traffic management company, 3 acres for $1. Here we have the documentation. 3 acres for $1. All right. And so there's some people who, because I'm going to continue with this point, right? But I want to continue. All the rest of them got $1. There's some people who say that the Queen owned Crown land. We're going to show you the truth about that in a minute. That the Queen owns Crown land. We're going to show you something about that. All right. So this other person here, the Christian Tabernacle Church. The Christian Tabernacle Church, they got land for $1. That's a church. They got 1.5 acres. All right. This is the Christian Tabernacle Church. It's their documents. Christian Tabernacle Church. They paid $1. And they got land near Fire Trail Road. Congratulations, Christian Tabernacle Church. We would have done the same. All right. We're happy for you. Now, this is Voice of Deliverance. It's a well-known pastor in the country. Voice of Deliverance. You all know him. He is a supporter of the Free National Movement. The good bishop. He got a good apostle. He got 5 acres of crown land for $1. This bishop, Apostle Leon Wallace, he got 5 acres of crown land. Let me make sure you can see this good. 5 acres of crown land. And he paid, let me make sure you can see it. Where is it? $1. Oh, you can't see it. $1. See it? There it is. $1. This is the papers for his property that I'm holding in my hand. $1. Leon Wallace, a supporter of the FNM, the good bishop. All right. And so, congratulations, Leon Wallace. You got 5 acres of land. All right. Again, we would have given it to him too because he's Bahamian. Calvary Deliverance Church. It's Calvary Deliverance Church. They got 2.5 acres of land. There's the land. 2.5 acres of land. And they got it for $1. Because you have to pay something, all right, for it to be legal. $1. See? And so this is what happens. All right. There's a couple of things that I want to notice. And there's other, pastors, churches, etc., that get crown land and they go extremely quiet. They don't stand with the people. I once had a situation where I was fighting for the Sea Hauler victims, and I asked a pastor to help. He called me to congratulate me on the work I was doing and my courage, etc. You know, he blessed me, and then, he said, he think that more Bahamians need to be like me and do more stuff like this to stand up for the Bahamian people, no matter what. And he spoke very well. And then I said, okay, Bishop, I said, well, what I need is, because these people are suffering right now and people want to give to them, can we use your church as a center to receive the groceries and stuff that people want to bring for them? He said, no, I can't do that. I was like, what do you mean can't do that? You're not taking any sides, and this is not political. He said, no, I can't do that because it's making the government look bad. And so he said, I have a crown land, I have a crown land application on the prime minister's desk, and if I help these people, the prime minister, it was Perry Christie at the time, the prime minister won't give me the crown land. I said, wow, do you hear what you're saying? You just congratulated me for sacrificing everything, getting my businesses attacked, getting me attacked personally, etc. And now I'm only asking you not to fight for them, but to use your church as a center to receive. I said God's church actually as a center to receive help for these people. And you worried about crown land? He said, yeah, you know what this country is. I said, wow. Well, I'll inform you that I spoke to this pastor recently. This is years later. That was probably about 15 years ago. That we had a conversation. He still never received the crown land. Never received it to this day. That government went out, another one came in, another one went out, and it was used to, I guess, keep him silenced. Or with the carrot dangling in front of him, he never got the crown land. And I think that a lot of people in these positions, pastors, etc., go quiet because they want to, benefit from society, benefit from things like crown land, tax pay, this kind of stuff. But I'm calling on more of you to stand up. Even when we become the government, stand up and speak out. Stand up for the people, man. We got to stand up for the people. Make this country better for all Bahamians. Right the wrongs. That is what needs to happen in this country. Don't take bribes. I'm not saying that it'll happen in any of these cases. I'm just saying in general, don't take bribes. We can't do that. And so what I wanted to say before I move on was there are people, who say that we can't benefit from our natural resources because the Queen owns it. We can't benefit, we can't own the crown land because the Queen owns it. All right? Let me help you understand this. The Queen's position is a symbolic position. It's called a titular head. A titular head is what it's called. It's a symbolic position. It's only for ceremonial purposes. That's it. All right? So the Queen, I'm sorry to say it like this, but the Queen is like Ronald McDonald's kind of to McDonald's. Ronald McDonald doesn't really own McDonald's, although he's the face of it. The Queen is a titular head and has no power, no say. The executive of the Bahamas have the say. And so these kinds of documents would have been signed by the governor before independence. After independence, this is signed by the Prime Minister. Remember I showed you the crown lease for the Ocean Key deal? That was signed by who? Hubert Alexander Ingram. Remember? This document is not signed by the Queen. If the Queen owned this, she would have to sign it, wouldn't she? I need Bahamians to wise up and think. Our natural resources are not owned by the Queen. This is signed. You know the signature. Who knows that signature? Let me see it in the chat. Who knows that signature? See if they can read it. Minister responsible for lands, yeah. Whose signature is that? Right there. Is that the Queen's signature? Look at it good. Make sure it's clear. Is that the Queen's signature? No. That signature right there, you should all know that. Very simple signature. You should know that. That is the signature of Hubert Alexander Minutes. The Prime Minister signs to give it away. You can see it right there. What he's signing for. All right? Hubert Alexander Minutes. So To cover that other issue that people will keep bringing up because they don't understand the law, the Queen owns nothing in this country. Nothing. We own this country. This country is here for us, and it belongs to us. And so that is, people examine his signature. All right? So, Bahamas, we have to wake up, wise up. We are going to make sure that all Bahamians get their land. Everything that we've promised to you is going to be delivered to you. That is a guarantee. Everything that we have promised, we will deliver to you. There are Bahamians who are being disenfranchised with their land in this country, and that will not happen again in this country. Bahamians are being disenfranchised. Foreigners are coming and getting all the land while you keep voting for FNM and PLP. You are sitting around talking about you riding the wave while you're drowning in debt. You riding the wave while you're drowning in bills, while you're going home and your light is off, and you're talking about you're riding some wave. Others are talking about they're going red when you are suffering. When you can't pay your bills, you're going home to an outside toilet that they couldn't even think in the last 25 years to do something about. Simple solution. You riding wave and your light off. You going red and your light off. You're being evicted, but you on motorcade to make them rich. All of those candidates you see, there's going to be corrupt deals. Remember I said these words, if for some reason you let them get in, corrupt deals, mind-blowing corrupt deals, international embarrassment. This is what we have always experienced. You expect anything different this time? International embarrassment. Ministers embarrass us internationally. The IMF has said, where's our money, ministers? You had to call an election. Brave Davis, if you go with him, you're headed for international embarrassment. We are supporting these guys while it's time for us to support ourselves and do something about ourselves. These aren't handouts. We own this land. We're not giving you anything. We own this land. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking to so many Bahamians. I have a lot of documents all over the place. So many Bahamians whose land has been taken from. They've inherited land from their forefathers. And because the status quo, the people in power, FNM and PLP, don't think that they deserve to own this land, because many of them have the land and not no money to develop it. But many of them think that they don't deserve this land, so they start to take it from them. People, I know a woman, they took a land from her. She had beautiful land in Eleuthera. They took it and did a runway for the airport. She has beachfront property, beautiful beachfront property. They just took it from her. And they say, we're going to pay you a couple of dollars. Nothing. She had no one to fight for her. It took her land. She went and got a valuation of her land. It's a Bahamian woman. All right? I don't know if it's a Bahamian woman. I won't show you her name, right? It's a regular woman living in Yellow Elder. She has deeds to her property. The deeds are so good that the government actually takes her land, but they don't pay her what she deserves for it. They may pay a couple dollars per acre, and they will take, 80 acres, 100 acres. She has 1,280 acres. 1,280 acres. This Bahamians, this is how we're going to empower Bahamians. So, for example, this woman has 1,280 acres of land. This is a Bahamian woman. And the government was just going there, taking peace. Just find any reason to take it from her. She doesn't deserve to have this. This is happening to many. I have several documents here of many Bahamians who are going through this right now, and no one is there to fight for them. No one. Mingo Roll properties. No one is fighting for them. I have several people. Another one just, they did that to him right off Faith Avenue. Government just took their property. Because you don't deserve to have anything. You're a Bahamian. How could your forefathers have this much land? Do you know what that means? Let me show you the value of this woman's land. I'm going to show you the value of this woman's land. And they are stealing her land, the F&M and the PLP, and not giving her anything back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an appraisal done by a proper appraiser. This appraisal was done by Dwight R. Watkins, government certified appraiser. All right. This is the appraisal for land. This is how you empower your people. Give them land. Look at the value of a land. This is a appraisal. I'm going to zoom that in very close so you can see that. 1,280 acres. This woman lives in Yellow Island. $62 million. That's the value of a land. You have to pay for this appraisal, a lot of money. $62 million. That's why they don't want to give you the crown land, the generation property. That's why they want to make the process complicated. $62 million. There are companies that will give her money on this. On the value of the land, so that she can develop it. This is what the wealthy, the oligarchs do. They have the land just as a part of their portfolio. This is not even the beachfront part that they stole. This is the regular part. This is the regular part. Yeah? Ladies and gentlemen, in a few days, we are going to be fighting for you. Game change. Yeah. 1,200 acres. Look at that. Zoning, commercial, investment. All right. January 2021, date of inspection, $62 million. Amen. This is why they want to keep the Coalition of Independence out. Can you imagine? That's just 1,200 acres of regular land. Can you imagine the value of all of our crown land? Can you imagine the trillions of dollars that our land is worth? This is just crown land. It looks like it's in Abaco. Yeah, this is in Abaco. It's our land. Farmers, y'all ready to fight for this? Are y'all ready to fight? That's just Abaco. Farmers, in 2 days, you can change the game. In 2 days, you can change the game for all Bahamians. So they may say, oh, they can't give you $100,000, but can they give you an acre of land? Yes, they can. Will we give you an acre of land? Yes, we will. That's a priority. That process starts next week, if you decide so. But you may decide that you just want to see Brave be Prime Minister. If that's what you think, that's what's good for you, then yeah, go do it. And then suffer for the next 5 years. Or you may say, you know what, I just want to see Minister try it again. There were some natural disasters in his run. Let's see if he can do something better this time. Because I just like my party. I don't like my country. I like my party is what the people are saying. I'm just, you know, I don't want to, I got to watch how I say this because they're going to screen record this and have me saying something I didn't say. There's some people who just support the F&M. And they love the F&M more than they love this country. There's some people who just support the PLP and they don't care what. I don't care. I just need my team to be in there. is what they would say. Forget about how we can empower all Bahamians. Bahamas, y'all got one more day to talk to your family and friends. One more day to change their minds. One more day to make sure they do the right thing. We are going to fight for you. That's a guarantee. We've been fighting for you. We are going to fight for you. And so you have to decide if you want to be owners or if you want to continue to be beggars. Oh, Brave is nice. I asked him for some stuff and he gave it to me. This is not a generation of crumbs. This is a Joshua generation. We've come to take what's ours. We've come to claim what is ours. We've come to redeem this Bahamas. This is the Joshua generation. And I come before you as someone sent as a part of the Joshua generation who has come to claim this land, who has come to own this land, who is not looking for handouts, who is coming to take what is ours and to build up a nation that we can be proud of. That is what I have come to do, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to transform you from a nation of workers to a nation of owners. If you get $100,000, who is going to work? Anybody except you. You work if you want to. That is what we believe. Foreigners will work for us. We will own businesses. And yes, business owners also work. Real entrepreneurs work. They actually work harder than regular persons. So you will work. Who's going to work? We are also going to work. But we're going to be working for ourselves. How about that? How about a new Bahamas where we work because we're doing what we love? How about that Bahamas? I am tired of the Bahamas where I get a job because I need money and I do whatever they need me to do because I need money. I'm tired of that Bahamas. Are you tired of that Bahamas? There's some people who never got to live their dreams, never got to fulfill their purpose, never got to do what they were born to because they just needed a job. I went on the police force because I needed a job, and they were the only persons hiring when I came out of school. I loved that job. I worked hard on that job, but it wasn't me. It was a good stepping stone. It taught me discipline. It gave me some valuable life lessons that I take again today, that I still live by today, but it wasn't me. How many of you have lost your identity because the dreams you had when you were a young person, you couldn't fulfill because you just had to get a job? It's jobs that's killing us. We're living an identity crisis. We don't know who we are. When you enter that building, there's a secretary sitting, a receptionist sitting there who's supposed to be a judge. But because of circumstances, she was not able to be a judge. And we lost that gifted person. When they were growing up, everyone said, boy, this one could be a lawyer. She could be a judge. But when she got old enough, they said, you just better go get a job. This light bill got to pay the light off. Go get a job. How many books were never written? How many songs were never written? Because people just had to get jobs. What happened in Qatar, in Dubai, in Norway, was that when people started benefiting and they had all of this cushion to fall back on, they started to do what they love, not what they were forced to do. It didn't make people lazy. It made them more industrious, but they did what they love. That is the Bahamas that we are pushing. That is the Bahamas we believe in. People who can do what they love. People who do what they love is going to make this whole entire country great. That is what we are fighting for. When you are on a job and you don't want to be there in your other place, you're going to be miserable. You're going to make everyone around you miserable. You're not going to work on a job like you should work on a job because you don't belong there. That's not you. You're not really a waiter. That's not you. All of your gifts pointed at something else, but only the restaurant hiring, so I gotta be a waiter. We want a Bahamas that's gonna build us up, give us opportunities like they do in these other countries. That is the goal and that is the aim. Bahamians will not be lazy and quit. Some will. But for the most part, Bahamians are industrious people. If you give them a chance, that's all many of us need is a chance. And you have that chance in 2 days to change the game, to have a government like Norway, like Singapore, like Dubai, like Qatar, where our whole entire focus is on empowering you, not freebies. This isn't about freebies. Your land is what you're entitled to. Your benefits from your natural resources is what you're entitled to. We're not offering you anything that's a freebie. We're trying to find ways for you to benefit from your natural resources. It's yours. You own it. And so when we say free electricity, think about Norway. It's free electricity. Think about Qatar. It's free electricity. Dubai. Other countries. Why not us? Who told you we don't deserve anything? Come on, Bahamas. And that's not socialism. That's us finding a way to pay you what we owe you. In America, they pay taxes, but guess what happens in America? You get tax returns. Think about that. And so we are offering a stimulus of $2,000 when we get in. All right? As soon as we can get sworn in and arrange the stuff, we're giving a stimulus package of $2,000 to every Bahamian adult. $2,000 to every Bahamian adult. You know what that's going to be? I wish we had spoken to our finance man who put everything together. That's going to be a VAT tax return. Take that. All of you have been paying VAT. It's a VAT tax return. Other countries get tax returns. They look forward to that at a certain time of the year. When we get in, we're going to give you a VAT tax return. And so that's how we're initially gonna reduce VAT by giving you returns on it. Because the system has to continue for the first period that we're in. But we're going to give you a VAT tax return. Just like Americans get their tax returns on their income tax. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so proud to take us into the new Bahamas. We are proud. We are proud to be the visionaries to do something different for Bahamians. We are proud. Are you ready for your tax returns? I'm ready. I'm ready, Bahamian people. Now, there's some people who are so used to bad treatment that they can't fathom any of this. No, everything is not going to happen on the first day. It's going to come in stages. But everything that we promised to the Bahamian people, we are going to deliver. Everything. We have planned out everything to the T. Everything we have promised, we are going to deliver. The question is, are you ready to empower you, or you want to continue to empower a political party? That is the question. I'm ready to be empowered as a Bahamian. So I'm going to open this up for questions. We're going to leave it there for tonight. I'm going to open this up for questions. And as I close, I want you to know that they attacked us in Andris because they are afraid of us in Andris. This is the next frontier for them. This is where they're trying to get. They don't want us to run this government because they have some plans for Andris. Andris is at risk. If we don't have the new Bahamas this week, I'm just going to be sold out. That's why they're fighting us in Andris. And the PLP and FM will work together on that because it's a new frontier for them. And they're going to partner in all of this. Stay tuned. So now it's time for the questions. Thank you so much. It's time for the questions. All right. So let's do it. If y'all can help me with the questions, let's go. Someone asked if we could ever run out of evidence. If it's too much evidence that they could cover it up. I think I'm repeating it how they said it. We can't run out of evidence. Listen, we already have everything secured. We're ready to go. We just ready for y'all to make a decision if y'all want this. So on Thursday, y'all decide. We have evidence. We have the evidence. You can see we're not playing with this. And there's some things that we've been holding back because we don't want to see, we don't want them to see the full extent of what we're dealing with. But as you can see, we have the evidence. We know how to do research. Many of you have never even seen one of these before. Never even seen this. But every Bahamian is going to have one of these. Every Bahamian is going to have one of these. You are going to get your paper. This is a big paper. Every Bahamian. Every Bahamian. Question.
What are your plans for COI?
If your plans for COI, if you don't win this election, I mean, there's some COI is at stake. You determine what happens with COI. You determine what happens with this country. The choice is up to you. The decision is up to you. But COI is at stake. I think the Bahamian people have gotten used to seeing the truth. There has to be someone there to hold the government to fire, the feet to the fire. If the event happens that we don't win, someone has to do it. And I think we've shown that we're good at that. But I think we'll be better in government turning this country over to the people. Next question. Am I going to push the vaccine? No. We're not going to push the vaccine. The vaccine will continue to be available for those who want it, if they want it. But we're not going to push an experimental drug on the Bahamian people, or experimental treatment. And that's what it is. Now, we know that Pfizer, they say, was approved. But of course, that was rushed approval. And so we still have questions about that approval as a country. So it's going to be available. We're going to educate you, give you all the facts and the truth. If you want to take it, it will be there and available for you to take it. The centers will be there available. If you want to take it, it's up to you. Many people have taken experimental drugs. People with cancer and other diseases, they would tell them, well, this is experimental. It could save your life, but it may not, but it's experimental. Give people the truth. When they first gave the vaccine, they should have told us, not that it was a cure. Minister said it's only cure. That's what he told us. We have video of that. He said that this is the only cure. He didn't tell us that we could still get it, that we could still get the disease. He didn't tell us that until we started to see it happen in other countries. And everything that we started to be able to question with, we saw from other countries, not from our government. Our government lied to us about many things. And when we saw things happening, reports coming from other countries, we realized, hold on, wait. People are still getting it, even though they took the shot. And then they started to change the story that, okay, but you're less likely to die, or you're less likely to be hospitalized. And so it's experimental. We don't know what's going to happen a year or two from now. And so it's very simple. We're going to make sure it's available to who wants it, but we're not going to force it. and it's not going to be mandatory. It will not be mandatory. And as soon as Friday, legislation will be put in place to let companies know that you are not allowed to force Bahamians to take a vaccine. By Friday, a notice will be going out to all of them. As soon as we're sworn in, we're going to put that into law, that the governor of Florida did. You cannot force Bahamians to take a vaccine as a company. That will not happen. You cannot tell them you must take this vaccine. That testing is going to be free. You can have as much testing as you want. The government will pay for it. You can have weekly testing if you want. You can have daily testing if you want. But you will not force this on the Bahamian people. I hope that is clear. See you on Friday as it relates to that. Next question.
Where do you stand on legalizing the and hemp and allowing the humans to profit from the industry?
We will legalize marijuana and hemp. We did an entire live where we showed you all of the pictures. We showed you all of the pictures. And I want you to, if you're able to quickly, to get those pictures from Cara so that we can show them the different buildings that you have them. Get them from her, please. We want to show Bahamians what we have done and what the plans that we've made. But I showed you in one of the live recently that we're going into the marijuana business. This is not about legalizing things for people to go out there and abuse, etc. But we think that there's medical benefits, and so there are persons who are suffering right now because we are backwards with our laws. We're going to produce this not just for locally, but to sell internationally, right? And so we're going to produce it. We're going to market it like no one else has. We're going to market it better than Jamaica does, and everyone is going to want that Bahama hemp or that Bahama marijuana. And so in Florida, you can actually go in stores and buy marijuana. I went to a marijuana trade show in Florida. I went there. It's still on my page. And so it's not a big deal anymore. So we need to move ahead and stop moving backwards. All right. And so we've already done all the research. Everything that we put forward has already been researched. We've gone to the farm in Colorado physically, met with the professionals, met with the scientists, seen how this can be done, how you extract the oil from the plant, what machines are needed. We've tested everything, how you can get graded as organic. You have all the documentation. How you turn these into products, where you get the little bottles from that you put it in, where you get the labeling, everything. Everything is lined up and ready to go. All you got to do is make a decision, Bahamas. Next question. How can Bahamians living abroad in the States apply for Crown land? It's the same process. Simple as that. Same process. You're Bahamian. Next question.
What are your plans for the disabled and the pennies they receive?
I think they said what the plans for the disabled and the pennies they receive from social services. We're going to take care of the disabled. We're going to take care of the disabled. They did not force it on themselves. They did not make themselves that way. But we're going to be judged how we treated them. We're going to make sure that buildings are accessible to them, even if we have to subsidize some of it. But we're going to take care of our disabled. One of our candidates is an expert in this area, Mr. Trevor Green, who actually teaches disabled students right now. That's his focus. That's what he wanted to focus on. He does it as a labor of love. And so we are going to make sure that we take care of our disabled in this country. It's a focus. All right? Your disability checks are going to go up for disabled, but remember that's just temporary. They're going to benefit from their natural resources if they have some mental issues, etc. The money's going to go in trust for them so that no one can take advantage of them. All right, next question.
What is your What is your plan for these old, grumpy people clogging the government system?
Someone says, what is your plan for these? I've repeated like they said it. Old, grumpy people clogging the government system. Many of these people clogging the government system, they're going to be benefiting from their natural resources. We're going to use some of their experience, etc., as we start to move forward. But we are going to have new innovative areas. The problem is we concentrate on so few things, and that causes the clog. But I'm going to show you that we have new innovative areas that we're going into that we're going to need new minds. Our Bahamians from abroad are going to need to come home. Come home, y'all. Y'all start making your arrangements. The new Bahamas is here. Call your neighbors and friends and your family members and tell them to vote black if you're not voting away. Tell them to vote black and get ready to come home to build this country, to build the dreams. Your dreams and ideas will be elevated. Okay? And so we're going to have a meritocracy. And so if you are in government, you're in the civil service, we're looking forward to seeing your dreams, to seeing your ideas so that we can take this to another level. All right? But we're going to expand our country to such a area, in such ways that there's going to be enough room for everybody. Next question.
Someone said people appointed letters from public service for many years and are not confirmed. Upon taking office was still first.
I think it's a crime against humanity. They asked about people in public service who have not been confirmed. I think that was a crime against humanity. I think it is wrong, and this must be addressed immediately. There's persons even in the prison, you know, who have not gotten letters, so they can't get mortgages. You know, we are going to look out for all of these civil servants who have gotten their jobs, and they need to be confirmed. You can't do that to Bahamians anymore. You cannot do that. That is wrong. It's evil. And we're going to fix that. You're going to be confirmed. Okay? And so to our prison officers, someone asked me to speak to them again. We're going to put certain things in place for you. You're going to get your confirmation letters. You're going to get paid on par with any officers, including the police officers. We're building a new prison for you because you shouldn't have to work in those situations. There's going to be nurseries, etc., in the new prison for you, so that if you don't have anyone taking care of your child and you're working shifts, and this is for all officers, we're going to have nurseries available to our civil servants who work nights. But the prison is going to have their nursery right at the prison, so that they can take care of their young people. Next question.
Can we get from anywhere in the past? Beachfront paradise island.
Yes, you can get Crown Line anywhere in the Bahamas. You apply for what you want, so get there early. It's first come, first serve. We talked about having people apply for Crown Line where they're from. That's complicated. You don't want to complicate anything for Bahamians. You go and you apply for your Crown Line, and anywhere. First come, first serve. Remember that. Next.
But beachfront property cannot be given equal opportunity also for those who apply.
Yes. First come, first serve. There's certain areas that there's zoning, so we don't want to confuse the zoning. Where we have areas like Bark that's reserved for in Andris, that's reserved for farming, and you want to put a tourist resort in the middle of this farm, or you want to build just a house in the middle of the farm, and they're not doing any farming. So those kinds of things will be put into consideration. We have tourism projects that we want to make sure to focus on our beachfront property, not and so we're going to have to work all this out with you. But apply for your Crown Line. First come, first serve. I'm talking about next week. First come, first serve. Next question. Again, someone wants me to go over the process of of the $100,000 of getting it. You don't have to do much for that. You just have to register as a Bahamian. We'll know who you are. You register as a Bahamian. You were born here. You have your passport. You're Bahamian. You register, and we are creating a wallet, a digital wallet where your money is going to go to. All right, and you're going to be able to have this attached to an account. Um, we're taking over Bank of the Bahamas. We're taking that over because it's in too much problems and it's too much management and political interference. We're taking over Bank of the Bahamas, and we're going to use that for certain things. All right, you can have your wallet attached to it. You can spend online, etc., etc., and the money goes directly to your wallet. Right, that's how it's going to work. So once it starts coming in, it won't be a physical check. We say check because that sounds good. Check, please. But it's actually going to be money that goes directly to your account and attached to a wallet. All right. All right. Next question.
Will we be getting grants for the fishing industry both sectors?
Will we be getting grants for the fishing industry? Yes, you are going to be getting grants for the fishing industry. Fishing is going to be one of the things that we go into. It's very important that we go into that. We are going to control everything that is marine. We are going to control the marine world because it's what we're about. And so definitely we're going into the fishing industry and we're giving grants as promised to people of Moores Island. Moores Island is going to become a fishing mecca that the world knows about. Fishing, processing, etc. is going to happen on Moores Island, right? So we have some major plans for Moores Island, major plans for Moores Island. And so Moores Island, go with us. Go black, Moores Island. Go black and watch us transform all of your lives. You're going to invest in it. Stay tuned. Next question.
Will the retirement age be reduced?
The retirement age. They want the retirement age to be reduced. No, I think the retirement age is good right now, where it is. But the Hammons are going to be to the point where they don't have to work into their old age. You're going to be working because you love doing what you're doing. You only have to be forced to retire because you need to keep working and you need to make some space for those coming up. Most babies are not even gonna go near that 65 or 60. They're not gonna go near that. The Hammons are gonna be. I retired when I was 30 by choice. I was in the retail business doing extremely well. I retired by choice when I was 30 years old. I got bored and I decided to go back, into business and doing some other stuff. I think most Bahamians are going to do the same thing. All right. So this is about a new Bahamas and a new way of thinking. Next question.
What are
One, we're going to regulate the banks. There's some regulation that has to happen. It's not just the high interest rate, but it's the fees that they're killing people with. There's some of the banks take advantage of Bahamians. We're going to stand up for Bahamians against the banks, against insurance companies. You're going to think that your government is a union. We're going to confuse you coming out the gate because we're going to be fighting for you instead of fighting for everyone else like the government normally does. You're going to see something different. And so we're going to be, one, competing with the bankers. Like I said, we are taking over Bank of the Bahamas. All right? So I know the government already has a lot of shares in it. We're taking it over, but it's going to be privately run. We made that clear. Not government run. Privately run. And we're going to do some innovative things with Bank of Bahamas. All right? Bitcoin is going to be an accepted currency. El Salvador just did it. We're going to do it. All right? There's some amazing things going to happen as we dollarize. Continue.
What's the plan to improve the standard of work ethic in government?
Say that one more time.
What's the plan to improve the standard of work ethic in government agencies?
Improve the standard? The biggest way to improve the standard of work ethic in government industries is that to make everyone accountable. The next thing is to make sure that everyone is doing what they love. Most people don't have good work ethic because they're out of place. They don't belong where they are. If you love what you do, you'll do that for free. And so this is why we're trying to change the culture. You have police officers in Dubai driving around in Ferraris, in Lamborghinis and police cars. They love coming to work. They're doing it because they love it. Civil servants in these countries doing it because they love it. And so the first way to improve work ethic is to have people doing what they love. And that's it. Next. Yeah, customs duties are going to be reduced dramatically and also VAT. We're not going to be making money off of customs and VAT. All right, 75% of our income used to come from customs before VAT came about. All right, the country's income. But now we're going to be making money from our natural resources and other forms of income, right? And so, including investments like Norway does by investing in the stock markets, etc., and increasing their money. Norway made over $200 million, just from their investments on the stock market. Sorry, $200 billion. I said million. Just from their investments on the stock market, from their sovereign wealth funds. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been having the wrong leaders. That's it. The wrong leaders with no vision who are busy thinking about how they can make money, how they can keep it in a few hands. While countries like Norway and Qatar, etc., are investing on the stock market and making huge money. While all of Jeff Bezos and those other billionaires got even richer, Norway got richer with them during the downturn in the economy, during COVID. They didn't have to sell one drop of oil to make that money. They didn't have to have not one tourist, and they made money in their sleep. Because while you're having the lockdown, certain companies like Amazon, they made more money. And if you had invested in Amazon, you would have made more money because people were locked down. Shipping companies made more money. Walmart made more money. And so this is the level of thinking we need to go in as a people. Not spending, not wasting and squandering. Not borrowing for nothing. Making money that we can make money from. Putting our money to work like these other countries do. There's nothing in the PLP or F&M vision to put our money to work. Next question. Say again. Crownland, everything, they asked if Crownland application is going to be online. In the New Bahamas, everything is going to be online. You don't have to go anywhere to pick up a piece of paper. We will not be killing trees moving forward. Everything is going to be online. All right. We are not tree murderers. All right. You will see that even us as a new party had elections for our executive positions, and we did it online, fully online. Not one tree was killed in electing our leaders. Not one. We did the whole process online. It was secure. It is the New Bahamas. We did this to show you that we're not just talking about this. We have the skills to do it now. Okay? Next question. We have a lot of plans for taxi drivers. Taxi drivers, we know that you're with us. We know what's been going on. One of the things is that you need to get your plates. All right? You got to own your plates. You can't be working for anyone. My father was a taxi driver. When he couldn't be a mailboat captain anymore because he was crippled, he started driving a taxi. He couldn't get out of the car to open the door for the tourists. Some of them got annoyed. He was crippled. He couldn't walk. But he didn't make excuses, and that's why I don't make excuses. I watched him and I learned. And he drove taxi. He drove for me the cab. So every day he would have to go there and turn that money into them. Ladies and gentlemen, no. We're about empowering persons and you're going to get your you're going to get your plates. They hold these kinds of plates, etc., to give to pastors and other persons to get their favor. Those days are over, man. Those days are over. And so we've already met with the taxi union, and we've said certain things to them. I don't want to say what all the plans are out here. But one of the things that we want to do is we want to make sure that persons get their plates, right? So the other stuff we'll talk on the next side of the election. Continue. All of this will begin to be implemented next week. Everything begins next week, right? Everything is going to go in stages. We're starting with carbon credits, and that's gonna spur certain things. Certain money is going to come in from that. We're going to do an inventory of our natural resources. We're going to immediately meet with countries and companies that need our natural resources, our limestone, our sand, our magnet, etc. We're going to get pre-orders, the same thing that Dubai did, and we're going to use these pre-orders as income and also as collateral to get loans. Now, this is what you're headed for, Bahamas. The IMF is not lending Bahamas any more money. They're not. The World Bank, IDB, etc., they're tired of the Bahamas. And so the only way to get money from them is to collateralize it. So your natural resources, your crown land, they're going to have to start putting this up in order to get funds. If you go with the PLPF, they're going to sell this country out, because you know what happens when they can't pay? It's gone forever. Taxes, they're going to tax you to death. They're going to raise VAT to 20%, 15% first, then 20%. Remember, I told you, everything I ever say to you comes to pass. They're going to bring income tax, and they're going to have to collateralize all of their future loans. Your islands, your crown land, your natural resources are going to be gone. We have a better way. We're going to do this the proper way, the way other countries did it. And so, if you're smart, work with us. Next question.
What about people with bad house payments?
Bad house payments? They said, what about the people with bad house payments? I don't know what they mean by that. If they're talking about mortgages, excuse me, that are in trouble, remember, this is going to come to an end soon. You're going to be benefiting from your natural resources. Make sure you pay off your loans, pay off your mortgages, etc. All right? Let's make this happen. Invest your money wisely. Don't squander your money on nonsense. Invest your money wisely. All right? Next question.
Are you going to have rehabilitation centers for persons with abuse and violence?
Yes, of course. Our social services are going to be focused on that. Our social services are going to be focused on programs for persons who may abuse any kind of drug. All right? It's going to be, our social service is going to be different. It's not going to be about collecting a check anymore, or someone helping you pay a light bill anymore. You don't have to worry about those stuff. Social service is going to be just about programs to help people in different situations, like single mothers. We have a serious push, excuse me, for single mothers, because a lot of single mothers have struggled in this country, and we are going to stand up and fight for them. We're going to support them, because while men have been out there doing their thing and frolicking and hitting and running, our single mothers have had to been there for us. They've had to raise. Many of us have been raised by a single mother. We're putting programs in place to support them. Refuge centers are going to be put in place to support single mothers. Refuge centers that, I mean, the landscaping is amazing with water fountains, etc. Proper living conditions that is, I mean, you feel like you're living in class. Because many single mothers stay in situations because they don't have nowhere to go, no family to turn to, no one to turn to. They stay in situations. I saw this as a police officer. This is something I wanted to change from then. I've had single mothers that that I grabbed them. They were in abusive situations, and I said, "Listen, come, you got to go." And I've put their stuff in the car, in the trunk, fill up the police car. Put mattresses on top of the police car with a light on top of the car. Put the mattress over the light, and taking them to friends and families because they just didn't have the courage to move on. And so this is something that means a lot to me. I was raised by a single mother, like many of you, and so we're going to have some programs to look out for them. Their refuge center, no one is going to be able to access who doesn't belong there, and so it's going to be a safe haven for them. And if the fella shows up, he lock up. All right, so don't even show up. All right, and so we're gonna. There's a lot of things. Um, there's a lot of things that we're gonna put in place for them and for other persons with rates social service. Next question. How will you deal with the UN? I'm not sure if that's a question you want. But the UN, we're part of the UN, so United Nations. We will continue to be a part of the United Nations. We're not going to be left out. So if that's the question you want, let me know. But we're going to continue to be a part of the UN. I don't know if you're talking about something different, the New World Order, or any of those things. But if you're talking about the UN, we'll continue to be a part of the UN. WTO? No. Next question. Yeah, we have a lot of plans to lessen crimes. I can't outline them here. I was a police officer. We have many police officers who are actually running and a part of what we're doing. So we can't outline all of those plans right now. But I will say that what we noticed that happened in Norway, Qatar, Dubai, these kinds of countries, they don't have a crime problem and they don't have a corruption problem. And that happens when people are in desperate situations normally, not only. That's why crime goes up during Christmas because that's when people need more money. So there's more armed robberies during the Christmas. There's more murders during the Christmas because people need to get more money in. But the more people that are living comfortably in the society, there's going to be less and less crime. And so that's the first part of it. And I think it's important for you to hear. A lot of the murder investigations over the years has been basically based on gossip. All right, who would have wanted this person dead? Conversation, etc. And people have been locked up, charged, sent to jail for when they were totally innocent. We're gonna have proper forensic investigations so that when you go to jail, we know it was you. All right, and so no more getting arrested on gossip. And then many of our police officers do a good job investigating, but a lot of our system is based on a lot of their system. Our system is based on gossip investigation. I say that like that. Although there's some good investigation that goes on, technical investigation. Some of the people go and commit the murder, put their cell phone in their pocket, and they can tell that you were there, you were talking on the phone, etc. So that's good investigation. But forensic investigation is what we need in this country to reduce crime. We need proper use of our police force. Most of our structured areas, like for example, Elizabeth Estates, Pinewood, there's really, really 2 or 3 ways in and out of these communities. And so we're going to have police stations in certain places so they can respond faster. It's the way you deal with things. And so if a crime happens, for example, in Elizabeth Estates, there's only 2 ways out. So we know that you're in there if you didn't come out. And so along with CCTV and other things, there's 1 police officer to a car. And so we can have more cars out there instead of 2. And so the police officers are stationed, the way you see it in the States, right? They're stationed in certain places, not just driving around wasting gas. Some of that is going to go on too, but stationed in certain places so that if something happens in an area, in Foxhill, and in Elizabeth, for example, you can respond faster, and there's less ways to get away. Proper use of the shot spotter, all right? These are ideas that I brought to the FNM, but they didn't know how to put it together. Proper usage of the drones. They didn't know how to put it together. They just took this idea because they didn't have any plans and didn't know how to use it. But how it really works is, for example, the shot spotter would hear when they shoot off a gun. The drone would then focus on wherever the shot spotter is, not $17 million. The drones that I budgeted for them and I researched was a few $100,000. All right, for all of the drones. How that number got to 17 million is mind blowing. All right, but anyway, the drone targets the area. You cannot escape once the helicopter or drone is over you. And so, Spot Shot identifies it. The drone focuses on it. The police are in certain strategic areas that they can respond right away. All right, and so this is how you're going to change it, because people who commit crimes want to get away. And so once they realize they can't get away because of the systems in place with the cameras that are going to be everywhere, this is going to help a lot with crime. There's a lot more that I want to touch on with this, but I'll leave it there for time. All right, continue. Civil servants, a new Bahamas is coming for you. Trust me on this. We are going to look out for you. You're not going to have to fight for what is yours. Civil servants, we know your problems. We know what has been going on with you. We are going to fight for you as your government. We're going to make sure that you get what you deserve. We're going to meet with you right away. We've already committed to the union to putting everything that they've suggested in our plans, and we have done so. And so we're going to look out for you, civil servants. We cannot swing back to Minis and the F&M or Brave Davis and the PLP. It doesn't work out for us. And we have to be fighting every election. Every election, the union's got to be fighting every election. Why? Why? Ask yourself that. BC Union. Why go to the F&M or the PLP? Why? When every single election cycle you have to be fighting. Nurses, why? Every election cycle you're fighting. Teachers, you still fighting. Every election cycle you're fighting. Teachers, come to me right away about your collective bargaining agreement. Right away. As soon as the blackout happens, you'll come to me right away. And we will fix it. Right away. Next question. We're going to change that. It's going to be, someone asked why the PCR test for the islands is not the antigen test, and you can use the antigen test for the United States. We're going to change that right away. It's going to be the antigen test that you're going to need. We're actually considering removing testing to go to the different islands. You should not be restricted in your movement in the Bahamas at all right? Because think about it, the Bahamas is the Bahamas. And so I can go to Pinewood to Elizabeth Estates without taking a test. That's because that's the Bahamas. I know this sounds a little strange because they try to separate and divide us. But you should be able to move freely throughout the Bahamas. I don't have to get a test to go from Florida to Georgia. All right? I don't have to get a test to go from Florida to New York. All right? You don't have to get tests to move around in America. No one should take that right away from you. That's your constitutional right, freedom of movement. And so we're considering removing that test on the whole. It doesn't make sense. The problem is persons coming into the country. That's where the virus comes from. If we lock that down for persons coming into the country, we don't have to worry about persons moving around the country. And so that requirement to test, to go to the family islands, etc., that's something that we are considering removing altogether. It's against your constitutional rights, and that makes absolutely no sense. Next question. Oh, the people who work over 12 years in one place. I think they're talking about that you're only paid for up to 12 years. I think that's what they're talking about. We're going to change that. We're going to change that right away. We're going to meet with the unions to discuss what it should really be. It should be whatever amount of years you work, that's what you should get paid. But that's going to put an extra burden on the businesses, some of them say. And so it needs to be more than 12 years. It was cut down to 12 years. We're going to increase that to whatever it was before. Because there's some people who've been loyal to companies, they gave their life to these companies, but when they get fired, etc., they're limited to 12 years. That has to stop. I think that was put in place by some oligarch or some foreigner who paid off for elections and got them to put that law in place. That one is gone. All right, next question. Go ahead. Good questions. Someone said, how will the process of turning from a constitutional monarchy to a republic work? It's a very simple process. To summarize, we are going republic, and we're going to have to do a referendum in order to do it. And so we're going to hold a referendum, and this referendum is going to bring a new constitution and a declaration of independence so that we can become the new Bahamas. We're going to remove in our new constitution the Queen as our executive head, and we're going to have a president and a vice president. And we're going to move to a republic. We're going to have island states, and we're going to have city government that actually works. And so that's in a summary how all of this is going to work. All right? It's not a complicated process. Other countries have done it. We're going to do it too. Next question. One more question. They asked how long is that process going to take? That's going to take as long as we take to do it. As long as it takes for our lawyers to draft, our Attorney General office to draft the documentation. We then have to go to a vote in the House of Assembly. We have to get 70% of the votes, and then we have to go to a referendum. And this referendum will put certain things towards the Bahamian people. We're going to have several things in the referendum at once so that we cover everything. And one of those things is to make sure that we put in the Constitution that Bahamians should benefit from their natural resources and sovereign wealth fund. So everything we're going to do with our sovereign wealth fund and natural resources, we're going to put in our Constitution so that any future government is not able to take it away from you without going back to you. They can't go back to the House of Assembly and just change the law willy-nilly. We're going to enshrine it in our Constitution and make it a constitutional right. Like your right to life, you're going to have a right to benefit from your natural resources in the New Bahamas. You're going to have a right to broadband, a right to health care, a right to electricity. You're going to have a constitutional right for all of these things. Last question. When will the furlough workers get their redundancy pay? This is something that we're going to work on right away because remember, we're ending their emergency order, so they won't be able to furlough you anymore. And so that's going to end. Now, they put something in law that you're going to be, they don't have to pay you for a certain period of time after the emergency orders end. We're going to pass a law to change that right away because that's not fair to you. These are people who are able to go on the bond market and borrow as much money as they need to survive. They have a certain amount of money. They're still investing in other properties right now while you're not getting paid, while you're suffering. Because they're saying, oh, we can't afford to pay them, but you're investing in other properties. This can't happen. We're going to fight for you right away. All of these are things that we're going to be doing in the coming weeks, so stay tuned. Fight for it. Now, if you cool, you're satisfied, then don't fight for it. But if you bring the New Bahamas, you're going to see all of this stuff. We're going to bring you on board to help with it. All right? And that's it. And so I can't take any more questions. It's now 11 o'clock. Almost. It's 6 minutes to. There's some people who tell you that we're selling dreams, but they don't tell you what the dream is that we're selling. We provide proof and documentation for everything we say. And so we are proud of what we presented as it relates to New Bahamas, new vision. We're tired of the old way and the old weapons. Talk to your friends and family. Talk to your neighbors. Don't be shy. This is not time to be shy. You have to talk. You're standing in the Wendy's line, talk to the person in front of you and behind you about what they're going to do. Your friend, your neighbors, go and talk to them. All right, talk to them, speak to them, talk sense to them. We can't go back to the same old, same old. What do we have to lose by going forward? You know what's going to happen if you go with the F&M or the PLP. You know what's going to happen. Deep down, you all know it. You know what's going to happen. People who are going to make decisions to vote for the third parties, we need you to concentrate your efforts. There's one alternative party that has a chance of winning this. There's one. Give us that shot. Give us your vote. Don't waste your vote on these third parties. Concentrate your efforts and give us a chance to win. Talk to your friends and families who may be thinking of voting for some third party and tell them to concentrate their efforts so that we can win this. The PLP and the F&M wants them to dilute the vote. Tell your family don't fall for that. It's time for the new Bahamas. It's time for change. It's time for change. And so I want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. It's been another good one tonight. We're going to see you tomorrow with the final one before the election at 8:30. With our final one, we're going to talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we got one shot at this. One shot. One. If we don't change this Bahamas on Thursday, if we don't, we go back 50 years. The choice is yours. I can't continue to live in the Bahamas where the hospital doesn't work, where the electricity company doesn't work, the internet company doesn't work. I can't live in that Bahamas anymore. In a country where nothing works. This is a failed state. We have to rescue this country. If we don't do this now, we're going to go back 50 years. We're going to be begging for food stamps. We're going to be leaving this country, and the foreigners are going to take it over. Because they can come here and benefit. Us, we're getting kicked out. Time to stand up, Bahamas. Stand with me. Stand with the new Bahamas. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. Let them know the new Bahamas is here. Let them know why they need to do this. Talk to them. Don't get tired talking to them. Talk to them. Keep talking to them. There's some family members who have come to me and say, boy, I kept talking for months and months. And first they were saying no, but now they're getting it. Don't get tired. Talk to them. Let them know that we need this change. So there's many people asking for T-shirts. We have T-shirts that have been coming every day. We cannot get enough. We're at the mercy of the persons who are printing them. And so there's nothing we can do. We're trying to get more and more in. So make sure keep checking up. We need you to work the polls. We need more poll workers in a couple of areas. Marathon, if you're in Marathon, please contact Aisha Claire on our Facebook or on our number, or come to the Pinewood headquarters and volunteer. We need volunteers from many different polling stations. We got to watch these people. We got to watch them. They're trying to steal this election because they don't want you to benefit from your country. Simple as that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. See you next time, tomorrow at 8:30.